Welcome to Monday morning. And here's what's happening today. Yesterday, and towards the end of the afternoon, I think it was my second last shoot, if you want to call it that I did here. I was noticing that I was having a problem with my connection that goes from the HDMI mini output on my camera to the back of the monitor over there. And I was thinking to myself, oh no, don't tell me that the connection in the camera is going. So I thought, now how do I test that out? And then I remembered that just over 4 years ago I had bought this thing, which is a monitor, only it's designed mainly for a camera. And it came with a short cable. It's only about 2 feet long. And I was able to test it out and find out that no, the connection in the camera is still good, so it has to be this thing right here. No, these aren't that expensive. I kind of like this one though because it was quite flexible. But you know, nothing lasts forever. I've been using it now for a few years. I haven't used this thing. It was one of those things that I thought I had to have. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got to try and rearrange things a little bit because over the last 10 months I have really become reliant on having that monitor in the corner of my eye, especially when the camera would be on the other side looking this way, because I can't see the back of the screen. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we're not going to get anything done here today. It's just that I guess I'm just sort of telling you, you know, I tell it as it happens, the way it is, and you have to listen to my problems. Sorry about that. Anyway, and today is garbage day in Winnipeg. And now those of you who have a little bit of a suspiciously inquisitive mind, you're probably wondering, well, how come the garbage truck did not stop in front of my house this morning? Well, the reason for that is because in the wintertime, I don't put the garbage out every week. I have very little garbage, actually, so I sort of let it build up. It's frozen. It's not going to go bad, at least not worse than it already is. Now, in the summertime, that's a different story. Yeah, this one's going to go on here. Just like that. And this one here, we have to turn it around. And I have to be very, very careful here now because and it sort of locks in place right there. Now that's beginning to really look like something, isn't it? Anyway, let's do the best we can today. I've already been on the internet and to see what kind of cables I can get, and there are places here in Winnipeg that have more cables and so on. And anyway, let's get going here. Okay. That's got to be it. J19. Yeah, J19. And does this mean we're through with the J sprues? I do believe so. That's 2 more sprues emptied out. Now I guess that wasn't 100% correct because I noticed on this one here, this little anchor. Now we only needed 1 of these, and there was 2 J sprues, so hence we had an extra anchor. Okay, now we can hang up more pictures. A few minutes ago I was trying to think, where do I put these on the deck? And I'd look at the manual, and then I'd look up at the ship, and I'd look back at the manual, and everything looked completely wrong. Then I realized that the ship was facing the wrong way. The bow should have been going that way when I set the thing on the table yesterday. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's fixed now. Now it's easy to figure out where these go. Now they are going to have to be painted, of course, but they go right in here. Now I was wondering, would it be easier to put them on before I put these pieces down? But then I thought, no, I better wait until everything's locked in place, and then so that these can go tight up against the wall of that part. Something like that. But I gotta paint them. I think I'm just gonna use a brush. There, now I can sort of hold on to it and get the paintbrush all the way around. Don't need to worry about the back. Now I know this is the XF66 light gray. However, this is what we have been using as the darker of the two grays. The other gray was the sky gray. And excuse me, you'll notice that there's some detail on the front here, so I am going to want to be careful not to get it so thick that after it dries I lose that detail. I do realize that using the airbrush would do a much better job, but because of where this is sort of hidden underneath everything, I'm just going to hope for the best here. Well, I'm going to hold this so it's more convenient for me, and then we'll look at them after. Okay, let's slip on the macro lens and have a close look. Now, my unprofessional opinion is that the paint is probably 95% or better dry, and the loss of detail is probably about as much as it's going to go. So, yeah, not too bad for an old man with a cheap paintbrush. Right in here is where the funnel section goes. I can well imagine we'll be doing that soon. And I may as well take advantage of the fact that right there, nobody's going to see anything. So, that if I'm going to have glue running out over the deck, and I'm planning to use the CA glue, I don't mind if it gets on a little thick right there. Now, other places, maybe there's a spot right at the front here, where the capstans are, that might be sort of hidden. It'd be nice if I could fasten the thing, from the bottom somehow, but I can't. It has to be glued down. Now, mind you, it only has to be, strong enough to hold it. If it gets laid upside down, it's finished anyway. Yeah, just sort of thinking out loud here again. Right in here, where this part joins onto this part, there's quite a noticeable gap, and I was kind of concerned about that. And I believe it's the same on the other side as well. But then I thought, oh, that's not going to be okay, because there is going to be a turret here, and that's going to distract and cover up, unusually large gap. It doesn't fit very good there. It's a bit of a warp. It's like this part here kind of sagged down, and it may well have too. That's probably way back. It was recommended that you leave the sprue on to keep the deck stiff. Anyway, it's going to be okay. I wonder if we're going to be able to see that little door once the turret's in place. Now, right at the very front here, I was mentioning that if it runs out onto the deck, well, it won't be too serious because there's so much stuff there that nobody's going to notice. And I guess if it gets real bad, I can always repaint with the deck tan. Okay, here's another thought. Take this off for a moment. Now, what if I was to apply a bead along the back there, right on the very edge, but rather than doing the front like that, would it be possible maybe to carefully be able to turn this on its side? More or less kind of like this. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but what if I was to put a bead along the inside here, and then when I turn it right side up and put it back on here, this is sort of like a dry run. Try and get it on so that it doesn't smear around. And then when the glue that is on this runs down into the seam, it'll sort of hopefully cure, and well, it would cure eventually. Now, I was going to use thick here, and that takes quite a while to cure, but hey, we got lots of time. After all, we spent, what, over 10 months on this. Well, here we go. Okay, I do believe that'll run down. Okay. Now we'll put it in from the back first, and then forward. That look like it's down all the way. Gotta be careful what I push on here. Whoops. All right, let's hope for the best here. I think that's going to work out okay. I was just going to do a dry run here, and I'm noticing that I've broken off one of our little storage chests here. So I don't know, can I do that now? Should I do that now or later? Maybe, no, I should be able to get that on later. Okay, guess I didn't glue that one on very good, did I? Doesn't look like I glued it on at all. Now here's a thought. Who says that I have to, do part of it like this? Why don't I just put some here and some here, and let it do the same thing again? That should work. Maybe a little bit on the sides. I'm going to give it a try here. I'm just going to go ahead and do it off camera, and that way I'll be able to sort of angle everything just the way I need to. Yeah, it's funny how I broke that off and never noticed. Well, there was 3 on this side and 2 on that side. Okay, let's be very careful here. I might have actually done that today. Okay, we're down. Places like right here, it's a little bit off the deck anyway, but the corners and the ends, they should be adhering. We'll wait a couple hours and check to see if there's any places where we can see it's oozing out where it's not supposed to. In the meantime, let's see if we can get this back on. Now, if you remember, I think we used the extra thin before. Now we're using CA medium. Now these little boxes, if you remember, they were symmetrical. And doesn't matter which way they go around, they're going to look the same. Now on the other side, there's a companionway mirror image to this one right here, but it's kind of hard to see unless I was to turn the ship around or put the camera on the other side. But I accidentally bent the railing on it. You probably can't see it from here. I'm thinking maybe I should fix that right now. Now, I think I remember when this happened. It was a long time ago. And I do recall there was an incident where the HDMI cord from the camera to the monitor sort of draped across the deck here when I was moving stuff around. And I do remember hearing it and thinking, oh my goodness. And I checked all my little gun barrels, and they were all okay, but I never thought that maybe something like this got bent. And I think that's when it happened. I'm looking around now. I don't see anything else that's broken off, but yeah, that was kind of scary. So I'm going to try and grab hold of these and just sort of straighten them up. Probably have to touch them up with the paintbrush later. Oh, I'm breaking the whole ladder off of the deck here. Don't want to have to re-glue this on. I can just hook inside here and pull it out so it's a little bit more rounded at the top. Oh, it's coming off the deck. That's not good. I wonder if I should be leaving well enough alone there. The other side isn't too bad. Wonder would it be possible to hold it in like a bull in a china shop here. That's what I am. Yeah, it's some better. Don't know if I should try and touch that up or if I'm just going to make it worse. See, it's not going to fall out. You know, like if you blow on it, well, the only thing that happens is dust goes flying, but yeah, it's not going to fall out. I think I'll just leave it. Okay, change in plans here. Hold it down with one toothpick and bend those up with the other. Maybe. Just try and make it a little bit more rounded. So it's not so pointed at the top of the railing. You can't believe how small this is. These toothpicks, they look like logs to you, right? Well, they're toothpicks. Okay. I think that's better. Now we'll touch it up. Now this may not be a perfect match for that dark gray that we used a few months ago, but what's going to happen is it's going to get rid of that, shiny photo etch finish. Try not to get on the deck here. Okay, once that's dry, it'll be flat and there won't be any reflection. Now I've just edited out the last few scenes that we shot there, and I was noticing what a poor job I had done painting that ladder railing. I mean companionway. Okay. Put CA medium on the bottom of this and also on the back. And okay, I pressed it down. It's sort of home as far as I know. I'm going to put the other one on the other side just the same way. Well, getting these J19s on means that 54 is done. These are down. These are on. Yeah. Oh, and the coffee's done too. So, 55. The funnel section. I was pretty sure that was next. And also the hangers that have the little boats on them. But that's going to have to be tomorrow. And thanks for watching. All being well, we'll see you tomorrow.